Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. So today we have a special topic. So the topic is the mindset shifts every entrepreneur needs for success. So that's what we're going to be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let's introduce ourselves. So hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but I currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner. Oh, Melissa, I think she's frozen. Maybe go, Isabel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. I'm originally from Mexico, but I live in North Carolina, USA. I am a mom, a wife, a proud digital business owner, and mentor.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa. I'm originally from Kenya, but currently I'm living in Mexico. And I'm a proud digital business owner. Prior to that, I used to work in the hotel industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so we want to remind everyone that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinars. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to cash. In this case, will be the replay from last Thursday. But on that same email, you will receive also a link to register for our live webinars that happens every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, and 8 p.m. EST. So when you click on that link, it will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday and one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So let's find out who were the hosts and panelists from last Thursday's live webinar.
Okay, so from our last week webinar, which was on Thursday, these are the panelists and the host that we had. We had Malu, who was our host. By profession, she's a banker. Then we had Pinky, she's a registered nurse. Suraya, she's a job quitter. And now, because of this business, she's able to work from home, work from anywhere. We also have Maria. By profession, she's a retired nurse educator. Yeah, so Isabel, you can go next.
Okay, we also had Natasha. She's an emergency telephone operator. Uh, Tony and Rita. Tony works in IT, and Rita is in recruitment. And Barry Ann is a healthcare worker. So just remember, you can register on any of the websites on the screen, so you can assist the live webinar. We have them on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you don't have time to watch the live session, you can always register and we will send you the replay so you can watch it at your own time.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Isabel. We also want to remind that all replays have subtitles in any languages, and our live webinar has now subtitles in 5 languages: Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. Okay, so let's dive in into our topic for today. Sorry, there you go. Okay, so like we mentioned at the beginning, our topic for today is the mindset shifts every entrepreneur needs for success. So, success isn't just about strategy, okay? So, it starts with the right mindset. So, let's dive into the key mindset shifts that every entrepreneur needs to be able to thrive. So, that's what we're going to be talking today. So, hello and welcome again to another episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. So, today we're talking about something that can make or break our success, and that is mindset. So, entrepreneurship isn't about the skills and strategies, it's about how we think. The right mindset allow us to push through challenges, take bold actions, and build a business that thrives. So today we're going to be talking, Melissa?
Yes, so today's we're gonna be talking about the biggest mindset blocks that is holding entrepreneurs back, and even for those who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, not just for those who are already entrepreneurs. We're also gonna be talking about key mindset shifts that leads to a long-term success. And finally, we're also gonna be talking about how to stay mentally strong in the face of challenges, because being an entrepreneur is a journey. It's a journey of resilience. So you just need to have the right mindset so that you can be able to keep going.
Yeah, so those are the points that we're going to be talking today. And we have a question for the audience.
Okay, so guys, are you ready for this question? What's one mindset shift that has helped you grow in your business? Drop your answers in the comments below. We'll be happy to interact with you and find out what mindset shifts has helped you to grow a business.
Yes, so let us know in the comments. And let's start with our first point. Go ahead, Melissa. Okay, so this point, sorry, just give me a sec. So on this point, we're gonna be talking about from mindset to growth mindset. So one of the biggest shifts we need is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So what is a fixed and growth mindset, Melissa?
So fixed mindset. So you're either thinking of, I'm either good at this or I'm not. And if you have that kind of a mentality, you can put yourself in a place where you'll be comfortable and not take opportunities. Opportunities will be showing up and you'll be feeling like, no, I'm not good at that. And then another one is the growth mindset. And the growth mindset is the mindset that says, I can learn and improve with effort. So you already have the thought that, okay, I'm not good at this, but I'm willing to learn. So the growth mindset, is a mindset that encourages you to learn, because that's the kind of mindset an entrepreneur needs to have. And then let me give you an example. Every successful entrepreneur started as a beginner. What set them apart? They kept learning, adapting, and growing. And we are here because of that. We started as beginners and we've been learning and growing. And then what's one skill you've learned through perseverance? Please share it with us. We are here to learn from you. And, that's the mindset that we have. We want to learn from you as well, so that we can, arise and keep growing.
Yeah. So have you ever had like a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? Well, I think one time in our life we might have sometimes, a fixed mindset because we are scared to take challenges. So like for example, and not talking about business, I was scared. For example, I went to a river rafting. My sister and I were scheduled for that. I don't know how to swim. Okay. But I wanted to try that because I love the water. But then when we got to the point there, I got scared and I wanted to not to do it. Okay. Because I got scared because I say I don't know how to swim. What if I fall? All that. Um, but then they say sorry, but we cannot return. And um, so my sister and I we say okay, fine. We're gonna do this. And then we try. So we changed from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. It was scary, I must say, but what happened after that? After we did it, it was like the adrenaline was there, and I was like, oh my god, I wanted to be longer, but it was too short. I really enjoy it. So if I wouldn't thrive and I wouldn't stay on that fixed mindset, I wouldn't really enjoy that what I experienced, doing the river rafting. So sometimes, we gotta push ourselves from that comfort zone that we are and try new things, and you will find out, it's not as hard as you thought that it was. In this case, it was a very thrilling experience that I really enjoy, and I'm glad that I overcome my fears and I try it.
Yeah. Something else like a fixed mindset is the people that think um, it's always been this way. It's always been this way and it's going to stay this way. It doesn't matter what I do, nothing's going to change. And a lot of people think that way. They think that, okay, I'm going to repeat the same things as my parents. Maybe they didn't go to school, maybe they didn't get a degree, and they survived, they worked, and that's what they did. So I'm going to do the same because something that a lot of people say, the rich people are already complete, like nobody else can be rich because there's already the amount that is supposed to be. Or I'm not going to go get a career. What for? There's no jobs or whatever. So as long as you're thinking like that, you're thinking with the fixed mindset, right? Because you're not thinking out of the box, you're not really looking for ways to improve or to push yourself um, to go through the things that you don't want to confront. Maybe you don't want to, you think that way because you see that the things that you have to do to get better are things out of your comfort zone. So you really have to think with a growth mindset. What can I do? What are the first steps I need to take to change this? So you have to change things, maybe take small steps and start changing the way that you see things or the things that you want to achieve. Maybe every day take small steps towards whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, and then that way you know that if you're taking the right steps, you know that it's gonna have to be right. You're gonna get there at some time, but you have to start somewhere instead of thinking the other way, because the other way you're not really going to get anywhere. And being a business owner, you really have to think out of the box, and you always have to be trying to be creative, to be better, to learn more about the things that you're doing, to be an expert at something that you really want to learn, and know the ins and outs of that. And being a business owner, you really have to push yourself out of the comfort zone, because a lot of times, I think when we start the business, we're so like, you know maybe intimidated by the whole thing about the social media, about having to learn so many things. But as we start learning, we're like, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that huge thing that I thought I couldn't achieve. But it's like everything else in life, everything takes practice. It doesn't You don't know anything unless you start doing it and you start repeating it over and over, and then you'll get the hang of it, and you're gonna find out that now it's easy, it's something you like, and it's not as difficult as it seemed at the beginning.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. When I started my journey, like I didn't know what to expect from the business, and um, so when I started my journey, I didn't know a lot of things. I had some knowledge on some things, but I didn't know a lot of things. So I started to learn as we go. So like the example says here, everyone starts as a beginner because we don't have any. We might bring some knowledge, but sometimes we don't have any knowledge. Um, but even then, with some knowledge, it doesn't mean that I mean, because you still have to learn so many things that we learn as an entrepreneur. So you get better and better, as practice, and you're gonna face with things like to overcome your fears, or thinking outside of the box. For example, when you encounter setbacks, You gotta shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So look those challenges and find solutions, and take it as a stepping stone to learn from it. When it comes to someone was going to say something. No.
No, continue.
Okay. um so the other thing that I wanted to mention about that is that um sorry, I forgot. Go ahead, Melissa. Maybe I will remember when I.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just reminded about myself. My first job, I was young and I had to be a cashier in a Japanese restaurant. And I was so scared because I felt like I was in a foreign country. So, first of all, I was adapting to the money that they use in that country. And then I had to deal with different accents on the phone because I needed to also take calls, customers, needs and all that. So I didn't want when that job opportunity showed up. I was like, I can do this. I'm not good at this. And yes, honestly speaking, let's say the first 1 month was a bit tricky for me because I was dealing with different accents of clients on the phone. And my sister actually is the one who pushed me, but I didn't want. So I'm just reminded of that story because after 1 month, I was able to become better in the skill. And actually, one day my boss was like, I took an order on the phone and I did it very well. Or she's like, who is that girl who took that order? It's like, oh, she's the one, you really did it very well. And she was surprised. So I'm just thinking about that sometimes we are afraid, when someone challenges us, we don't want to take that initiative because in our mind we've perceived that we cannot do that, or we have this mentality that is not my personality, I'm an introvert, and so on. There's a lot of stories that we create in our mind, which perhaps they are not true. Have you tried? You can try the first time and fail. You can try the second time and fail. You can try the third time. And so on and so on. So I am just here to say, like, I can totally resonate with what you are saying. And it's always good, not even if you're an entrepreneur or anything, just to have that growth mindset, because growth mindset can lead you into bigger opportunities in life.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to say. Just an example of this, for example, doing lives. We have to change, from being in a comfort zone, like, and then stepping out of that and then try. So we were like, I didn't be to be in front of the camera, but you know what? I had to do it, and we all had to do it because, we wanted to connect with you, the audience. So the only way to do it was, be in front of the camera and, sharing our experience and our journey, our story with you. So that's getting out of our comfort zone because, if we don't do it, we stay in the same place, we're gonna be in that bubble, but we're not keep growing. With this way, we're keep growing, and we are able to, because of that, we are able to share with you, our journey. So you get to see, behind the scenes of the life of a business owner. So but you gotta step out of your comfort zone and you gotta try because you never know what is on the other side of why you're not taking that chance. We gave here, a few examples of different ways of fixed mindset. So it takes, like, for example, my example was an opportunity. If I wouldn't take that opportunity, I wouldn't know what that experience, well, how it feels, about doing river rafting. Melissa shared another experience and Isabel shared another one. So there's different examples of growth mindset and then fixed mindset. So you want to try because you never know. That's the only way that you can grow. That's the only way that you can see, what is out there, what opportunity you are able to take, and not miss it. So yeah, you gotta shift. So if you want to keep growing. Okay, so let's go to our second point. Oh, actually, before we go into that, so reframe failure. Hold on. No, this is the second point. Never mind. Sorry. I went ahead of the slide. Go ahead, Isabel.
Okay, so this is our second point that we want to share with you guys. From fear of failure to embracing challenges. Fear of failure holds so many entrepreneurs back. It holds so many people back, actually. In whatever they're trying to achieve in life, the fear of failure is always going to hold you back, because I think we're all so, how do I say this? We're always thinking the worst thing. We never think about, well, if I do this, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna achieve, I'm gonna gain. We're always thinking about the failure. What's gonna happen if it
The
doesn't work
negative
the way that we
outcome.
want. Yeah. So, but there's the truth. Failure is part of the journey. It is Failure is just part of life, part of every single thing that you do in life. You can face failure in the simple things that you do every day, and you don't even see it because you're so used to it. But failure is just something that we have to face to move on to something better. So every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a comeback, and the faster we fail, the faster we learn and grow. And that is so true. Like a lot of times, I don't know, maybe when you were learning how to drive, like my son right now, he started driving, and he doesn't tell me that he's afraid, but I know that he's afraid because when he takes the car and he's driving, he's always leaning on the right side, because in his head it's better to be on the outside and not in the inside where he can hit the other car. So I can tell that he's afraid, and that's how we all start, right? When we start doing something, we're always like trying to play it safe some way, even though it's not the safest thing. Because like my son, for example, he's leaning on the right side, and I don't know, in other countries, but in United States, like all the mailboxes, all the posts, everything is on the right side. So if you lean too much to that side, you're going to hit something too. It may not be a car, but you're going to end up hitting something. So um, that's just one of the examples that I can share with you about, the fear of failing. Like, okay, I don't want to hit a car, but I'm not, in my head is not really thinking about there's other things on this side that you can hit. But here's another example. Think about any top business leader. Did they succeed on the first try? No, they failed, learned, and kept going. And that's what we have to do too. Like, always see failure as a stepping stone. We have to learn that lesson and see what we can do better next time, um, to do better, so that we don't face the same failure. And something my parents always told me, like, if you don't learn your lesson on the first time, then there's something up with you, because failures are going to happen, but then you have to really think about it and learn the lesson behind it. Because if you start having the same every day, you face the same failure, well, you're not really thinking about a way of doing better. What can I do to avoid that? What can I do to be better at what I'm trying to do? So that's something that we have to do as human beings. Leave failure, like, don't put failure as this big monster um that is going to end your career or end the things that you're doing, because it's not. You're just gonna learn the lesson, and then you're gonna keep going, and you're gonna see that you're doing better. But don't think too much about it. Don't think about, I'm afraid, or I have fear. Don't think too much of that, because fear is the number one killer of dreams.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Melissa. I'm going after you.
Melissa, you're muted.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to mute my because of the internet issues I have here from my side. But anyway, I'm just thinking about how most people who want to who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, some some of them are very afraid of taking the first initiative. They rather have a job where they are assured that they can get a salary after every month or maybe after 2 weeks, depending on how you're paid. Because honestly speaking, being an entrepreneur, it comes in along with failure sometimes and challenges along the way. But we have a lot of stories of people who started businesses, and even within our own community, like we have Dave and Roxana, like they tried like 24 businesses before they found this one online business that paved for them a way to be where they are. And even just looking back, we have people like, Walt Disney, the person who started the Disney World. We have the story about KFC. Like they went through a lot of challenges, a lot of challenges. So it's just the right mindset, knowing that even if you're starting a business, it's a journey. That's why we say it's a journey. It's a journey of resilience. It's a journey that will come with obstacles. Right now we are doing this live. I'm experiencing the challenge of my internet fluctuating. But you see what? I am like, you know what? It's easy for me to say I'm not gonna show up because of this and this, but I say, you know what? I'm gonna show up. Along the way, things gonna work. So for any a person who is aspiring to be entrepreneurs, yes, having the right mindset is key, and also having it in your at the back of your mind that this is a journey of resilience. Obstacles will be there, but the great thing is that in our business community, it's a journey that you're not going to walk alone. I think for me that is the most amazing thing, because when you're starting, for example, an online business, most of us, we don't have the experience. So doing it alone, it's so easy for you to quit. But when you're surrounded with people who have the right mindset, and even you can see their own journeys. I've just said, like, for example, we have, Deb and Roxana, they tried like 24 businesses until they found this. So just having the right mindset is key to succeeding in life, not just not just only in the business world, but in everything that you're doing. Back to you, Sandy.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, for what I want to touch about this topic is it's kind of like off and on the topic. I think one of the roots of why we see failure is because of two reasons. One is society, the way that it has conditioned us, and the two is parents to try to protect their kids from failures. And I understand, the point of view of the parents, trying to protect them, but sometimes, too much protection is not good, because then they don't learn. I remember I was watching one time in Facebook, um, a parent who had, the little kid was trying to do something. The parent made something so that the kid, the kid will try to figure out, how to get to him, but there was like an obstacle. I can remember really well the example. So the kid was crying because he wanted to get to his dad, but his dad was on the other side, and he wasn't helping because he wanted him to figure out how to get to him. So the kid tried so many times until, crying and all that, but until he finally was able to figure out, and then he was able to reach to his dad. So that's just a good example of, that sometimes, instead of protecting our kid and telling him, oh, you gotta go this way, try to let them figure out, so that way they're going to start learning from a young age, how to find solution, and don't stay on that uh, problem focused mindset, and change into a solution focused mindset. So I
Yeah,
just wanted to.
I remember your example, Sandy. It was actually that dad had put some ropes. It was like a little kind of a hall kind of thing, like a bridge. I think that because they were out
Yeah,
in
it was outside. Yes.
yeah, and he had put some ropes and he crossed them in certain ways to try to get the kid to go through it without help. And I remember that dad kept waiting and waiting, and the little kid got frustrated and he was
Mhm.
crying and everything. But finally he went through it, right? He went through it. He
Yes.
figured out a way. And that's the same thing we have to do. We have to find out a way. We have to stop thinking and being focused on the barriers, on the things that are holding us back, and we have to be able to see the path that we can take to succeed in the things that we're trying to do.
Yeah. So I really love that example because everything starts when you start from little. But even though, like us as an adult, you know, it doesn't matter, like what we learned from before or what, we got conditioning from the society. We gotta shift, our mindset and think, that there's always from something, like I always say, from something negative, there's always a positive outcome. It depends how you look at it, and that's how you're gonna be embracing failures, because every failures there is a lesson. There is a lesson, or there is how to say that, there's something that you don't understand why it's happening right now, but later on in life, like later on ahead of your journey, you will look back and you say, okay, now I understand why that happens. Because if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't be here where I am today. So we just gotta think, um, at the moment, we always think, oh, but why this happened to me, we always look at it the negative way, but there's always a reason why. We might not understand at the moment, but later on we will. Or there is a lesson that you have to learn, from that. In the journey that I had, for example, now in my business journey, I had two lessons that I learned. And from one lesson, I learned so many things. So this is just to show one failure taught me so many things in one failure. So sometimes you can learn a lot, and sometimes you learn one thing of it. But failures are not bad as we thought that, we were taught that failure was bad, because, that's how people has been put in our minds, because we have to be like perfect, no, try to be the best and not do any failures. But no, really, the failures, is what makes you better and grow as a person. Okay, so
I want to quickly add on that on your last point. As long as you fail, you try something and you sit down and ask yourself, okay, why is this not working? What lesson can I learn from this? Because I think most of the time what happens for most entrepreneurs and just generally in life, something doesn't work and you quit.
mm-hmm,
You're not able to sit down and ask yourself, okay, what can I do how can I change things here and there, reflecting on why, what can I do to improve, and actually just having the right mindset and just going back to the to the topic of everything is just the mindset actually.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you touched a good point there, because a lot of people say, oh, no, this business doesn't work, you know, but really it's not the business, it's them, because they quit before, they actually, and that's the sad part. A lot of people quit just before they were so close to breakthrough, you know. There is a story, well, Isabel likes to tell that story, the golden, why you don't say, Isabel?
The what?
The golden, the people that were digging for the gold and they stopped.
Yeah, 3 feet away from goal. That they were digging and digging, and they never realized that they were so close to the goal. 3 feet away, they decided to give up. And then, surely enough, other people came and kept working on it. 3 feet away, they found all this gold, and these people gave up, without knowing or without really pushing themselves, because a lot of times that's what we have to do. Like, we give up so easy a lot of times, but you never know. You may be so close to the breakthrough that giving up really is not, it's not an option. It shouldn't be an option. You need to keep, like, pushing. Like, when you say, I'm gonna do this, like, I think we should work on it and keep working till we get the results that we were looking for at the beginning. But a lot of people, they try, okay, I'm going to try for a week, for 2 weeks, maybe a month. And then they don't see any results and they're like, okay, I'm giving up.
Mhm.
But if you think about it, I mean, look at all these successful people. You can read their stories and how many times they failed at the things that they were trying to do, and they kept going and they kept going, and maybe they changed their idea, maybe they started doing something different or whatever, but they knew that they were going to be successful at something if they kept trying enough. So that's just a lesson for us to learn, that we need to keep working and don't give up on the first obstacle that we face.
Yeah, it's like the Coronel from the Kentucky Fried Chicken. How many no's he got? People say no to him, but he never give up until he got that final yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, don't give up. Keep trying because you never know how close you are. Okay, so talking about, we just mentioned that, reframe failure. So instead of asking what if I fail, ask what can I learn from this? Because there's always a lesson from a failure, and maybe more than one. Like in my case, there were more than one. So yeah, so don't take a failure as a negative thing. Okay, who wants to read the question?
Okay, how do you push through fear when facing challenges? Let us know. Comment below, let us know, please. How do you push through fear when facing challenges? Like, I don't know. A lot of times, like when I first started this business, I was working full time. I had my kids. I had to provide in the house, like help make food, clean, whatever. And of course, my husband, he was working too, but he normally gets home late. And I was trying to do everything I was doing on my normal day, plus do my training, for my new business. And I'm telling you guys, I was having migraines because I get migraines when I get stressed. I was having migraines that were lasting me 3 to 4 days. And I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And yes, sometimes I was like, don't do the training today. You don't feel good. Go get some rest, whatever. But, I'm the kind of person that if I stop doing something, it's hard to get back on track. It was hard for me to get back on track if I left something halfway. And so I was not giving me that time, like, no, you're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going. So and I push myself. And once I went through that phase of the training and I got everything set up, then everything went back to normal for me, right? Because I didn't have all this pressure on me, because now I was kind of in a place where I could do things that I was, learning. I already had an idea of what to do instead, versus the beginning when I was learning everything and my head was just overwhelmed with all this information, plus everything else that I was doing, that I was to the point where, okay, my mind was trying to trick me and tell me, no, don't do that, you're doing too much, you're doing too much. But I didn't listen to it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep pushing till I got through it. And that's what you have to do. You have to push yourself through, even when you feel like, okay, I don't have any more energy, oh, I'm not gonna be able to survive. Like, literally, this is what my daughter tells me: Mom, if I keep going, I'm just not gonna be able to survive, I'm not gonna make it to tomorrow. And she's so dramatic about it sometimes, you know and a lot of people do that. A lot of people really think, okay, if I don't stop, I'm just doing something to myself that it's not going to be able to be fixed. But that's not what it is. You have to really push yourself to the limit and be like, okay, if I was able to achieve this today, tomorrow I can do a little more. But
Mhm.
a lot of people look for the easy way out.
Yeah. Yeah, me depends. It depends of the the challenge. Like sometimes I will feel like yes, I have that fear, and I put a lot. The thing is, like, I put so much pressure. Nobody's putting pressure on me. But I put pressure on myself. So then I get like stressed. But then I try to figure out, okay, because the thing is, like, I don't feel um confidence. So that's the reason, of the fear, because I don't feel confidence if I'm gonna be able to do it, or not. um so I keep pushing forward, but trying to find ways, okay, how can I do this better, so I don't struggle too much, um so that's my way to figure out trying to figure out ways, or how can I make it better so I don't take too long to do something. um but yeah, the thing is, like, I put too much pressure on me. But once I figure out the way, then I can breathe. But yeah, it's at the beginning, it's like a little bit too much for
Mhm.
me. But it's me who nobody's putting that pressure. It's just me that is putting that pressure on.
But it's something normal. It's something totally normal when you're trying to learn something. When you're pushing yourself to do more or to learn more, something that you haven't done in the past, something completely new to you, you're gonna feel that pressure. But I think, at least as adults, the age that we are, we know that that's normal. It's something completely normal. And sometimes we push too much pressure on us, thinking like, okay, I gotta do all this and I gotta do it today. But a lot of times that has solutions too. You have to look at your priorities and see, okay, these are the things that I need to do. These are the things that are, uh, what do you say, that you're not willing to sacrifice, the things that you're not willing to give up, and do those, and then maybe there's some things that you can push to the next day. But yeah, there's always a lot of pressure, and I would like to I'm the same way. I like to pressure myself and say, okay, you got to get this done. And sometimes it is the best way, because if I don't do it, then the next day I feel like, okay, I did all that yesterday, now I don't have anything to do. But the reason I do that is because I know that the next day I'm going to have more things to do, and I don't want this pile of stuff to do in one day. So that's why I push myself.
For me, I would say it depends. But I think the way I know myself, sometimes when I feel there's a lot in my buckets, or I am kind of struggling to know how to manage things around me, maybe work, family, my own personal schedule, and all that, sometimes my mind just goes like, I don't want to think. I don't want to think. And probably it might take me some hours, or maybe it can take me a day. But I now, let's say after some time, after I'm in that state of mind, I come back and ask myself, okay, Melissa, so how long are you going to be there? You need to act. So it depends, but I will say in situations where I feel I am not in control of, so I like to pray and ask God to give me strength and give me wisdom to know how to navigate into things, because sometimes you can think and think or figure out things by yourself, and it's like you're overwhelming yourself even more. So it depends with the situation, but there's instances where I just need to sit down and just pray and ask God, please give me direction, or just show up, show up even when I know things are not going the way I want, and I still learn one, two, three things and act on that. So it depends with the situation, or just surrounding myself with the right people who I know they can encourage me, they can hear me, because sometimes you just need to pour it out, to someone. So it just depends with the situation that is going on around. And now, even talking about business, I think what has really helped me so much that I'm still plugged in is the community, having all those daily meetings that we have, and I know I need to attend. I try, even if I know I cannot be there fully because of what is going on around. I am, like I can say that I always learn something, at least hear something that I know is going to motivate me and make me like the next day, renew, fill up my cup, because sometimes your cup is becoming empty, empty, empty. But if you start filling it slowly, slowly, then your energy starts coming back. Yeah. So it just depends with the situation. But it's
Yeah.
good to be yourself, because we are different. Sometimes if you just feel you need to pause for a day, for a few hours, pause, but don't be in that state for a long time. Like you still need to act and do something.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes you need some time to recharge, but
Yeah.
yeah, don't stay on that recharge time for so long, because then you get used to
Falls
it and
too
then you,
long.
yeah, you give up. So um okay, so we have arrived to the end of our topic. So we hope that like you have learned something with us, like we share some of our experiences, in terms to the topic that we were talking today. So hopefully you can relate to us, and you have learned something. um, so if you really love the topic, or if you want to share something with us, another experience, about the mindset, like you have experience in your life, put it in the comments and let us know, because it's nice to hear other people's stories, how they deal with the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, or what kind of experience, how do you face fear in your life. So let
How
us
do
know
you
in the
work under pressure?
yes, how do you work under pressure? Yes. So yeah, so let us know in
Mhm.
the comments, and we'll be happy to read. And I'm pretty sure that other people also, will relate to also to your comments. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much for also. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for engaging with us, for believing in us. Um, and for those who doesn't follow us, you can follow us up here on the top. So you get to know us who we are, what type of content we post, and more information about the business. So we do have some emojis here from Lamin Koroma, Kanika Duta, Anthony Ianyanyu, John Mann, Francisca Cagulada Estorosas. So thank you so much for your likes emojis, and thank you for watching and be here with us today. So thank you so much. Saying that, if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to Cash. In this case, will be the replay. But tomorrow we have our live webinar, so it's every Tuesday and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, and 8 p.m. EST. So when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will have the link to the replay, and also will have a link to register for our live webinars. So we'll take you to a page that will have two buttons, so one for Tuesday and one for Thursday, so you can register for either one or for both if you want to attend both of them. In addition to that, you also get invited to our private Facebook group, where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So when you register into our website, you receive the webinar. So what are you going to see in the webinar? Well, in the webinar, you're going to learn how our online business plan works, and you also get to hear the testimonials from members of our community. In this case, will be the panelists. So we're going to show you who the panelists are in a few minutes from last Thursday live webinar. So they're going to be sharing why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So let's see who were the hosts and panelists from last Thursday.
Okay, so from our last week webinar, which was on Thursday, these are the panelists and the hosts that we had. But just a reminder to anyone who is watching us, in case you love to catch up on another webinar, it's going to happen tomorrow. But for last week, this is the panelists and the hosts that we had. We had Malu, by profession, she's a banker. Risk and compliance, we had Pinky, she's a registered nurse. Suraya, she's a job quitter thanks to this digital business. Now she's able to work from home, work from anywhere. We also had Maria, by profession, she's a retired nurse educator.
Okay, we also had Natasha. She's an emergency telephone operator. We had Tony and Rita. Tony is an IT professional, and Rita is in recruitment. Terry Ann is a healthcare worker. And like we told you guys at the beginning, if you're ready to find out more about this business, you can register on any of the websites on the screen. You can so you can assist to either the live webinar or you can watch the replay if you don't have time to be at the live webinar, because the live webinar is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you don't have time for the live, don't worry, guys. The replay is going to have the same information, and we will send it to you so you can watch it at your own time.
Yes, thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Isabel. And yes, so our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And our replays has subtitles in any languages. So these are the hosts and panelists that were from last Thursday. So if you want to catch the replay before the live webinar, you can register in any of the websites that will appear on the screen. And then we'll send you that replay link. So as you see, those are people like us, and like you, from different walks of life. And some of them, they're still doing the business on the side, and some of them are doing the business full time. We have a job quitter in the house if you want to catch the replay so you can hear her story. Okay, so right. So what is next Monday's topic?
Okay, so guys, if you want to come back next Monday, our topic is going to be how to stay motivated as an entrepreneur even on tough days. So don't miss it. Come and join us next Monday, same time, 3:30.
Yes.
Oh, well, 3:30 Eastern time.
Yeah. 12:30 p.m. Pacific time and 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So thank you again for joining us on our Global Digital Success Talk. So success start in the mind. So when we shift our mindset, we shift our results. So believe in growth, embrace challenges, and keep taking action. Okay. So until then, keep growing, keep pushing forward, and let's build, success together. So see you next time. Happy and blessed Monday for those who are on Monday, and happy and blessed Tuesday for those who are on Tuesday, and happy and blessed week ahead for everyone.
Yes,
So
guys.
thank you for watching.
Happy St. Patrick's Day here in the
Oh,
US.
oh yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. um, so until the next episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. Oh, sorry, we didn't say it together.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.